On our wedding day, my bride-to-be, Jody Simmons, disappears without a trace. All she leaves behind is a baby with a heart condition and a letter. She writes, "Dami, I love you, but I've also fallen in love with Henry Ziegler. I can't officially make him mine, so I've decided to travel around the world with him to make it up to him. I'll give you a chance to raise the child Henry and I have together. While we're away, let our child keep you company. But why should I raise another man's child?" 6 years later, I take my daughter to the airport to see my wife, Ivy Simmons, off on a business trip. When I turn around, I spot Jody pulling a suitcase behind her. The moment she sees the little girl in my arms, her face lights up with delight. She gushes, "Dami, is this Henry's and my child? You've raised her so well, but Henry and I are already married overseas, so I can't marry you anymore. Don't worry though, in my heart, you've always been my husband." Looking at the striking resemblance between her features and my daughter's, I chuckle softly. I say meaningfully, "Careful, don't go around claiming someone else's daughter as yours. This is your cousin." Jody Simmons's expression stiffened before she furrowed her brow. "Cut it out, Dami," she said with a frown. "We might not have had a wedding back then, but you accepted my engagement gifts. Technically speaking, you're my husband now. How can you be so tactless?" After a brief pause, she added, "Besides, I only have one aunt, and she's never been married. If she hears you spreading rumors about her, she won't be happy about it." I was speechless. I couldn't believe how shameless she was being. Jody used to be my fiancé. Our engagement had been arranged by our families. Throughout our relationship, I had done nothing more than fulfill my responsibilities as her fiancé. After she had the audacity to run away from the wedding, someone else from the Simmons family had to take her place as my fiancé. That person ended up being her aunt, Ivy Simmons. Before the wedding, Ivy gave me double the amount of engagement gifts Jody had offered me. On top of that, she had been spoiling me ever since we got married. Now, I was the husband of the head of the Simmons family, and Jody's uncle-in-law. With my newfound status, even Jody's parents treated me with courtesy and respect. Looking up at me timidly, my daughter, Natalie Quinton, tugged on my sleeve and asked, "Who's this, Daddy? I've never met her before." I ruffled Natalie's hair and paid no attention to Jody. Then, I turned and started to head toward the parking lot. "You can't leave." Jody stretched out her arm to block my way. Henry Ziegler quickly stepped forward as well. He reached forward with his rough, calloused hand and pinched Natalie's cheek. "I'm your actual dad, sweetie," he said. "Would you like to come home with me? Your mother and I will take you out for something delicious." "Don't touch her!" I snapped. I immediately pulled Natalie into my arms and took 2 steps backward. Henry had pinched her cheek so hard that it had already turned red. Feeling frightened, Natalie buried herself in my embrace and cried, "Daddy, I'm scared!" Henry's eyes instantly welled up with tears. Choking back a sob, he said, "I'm your father, sweetie." Turning toward Jody, he continued, "Is Damien still angry at me for what happened, Jody? Is that why he deliberately told the kid not to acknowledge me as her father?" Jody frowned and reached over to yank Natalie away from me. "Stop being so ungrateful, Damien Quinton," she barked. "Henry is her biological father. Why won't you let him touch his own daughter? Have you lost your mind? Give Natalie back to him right now. If you like children so much, we can always have another one later," she added, as if she was doing me a huge favor. The look on her face made me sick. "If your eyesight is failing you, go get yourself a pair of glasses," I spat coldly. "Natalie is my daughter. She has nothing to do with you or Henry. The child you left behind all those years ago is long gone. She didn't even have a proper name, so your parents sent her to an orphanage," I said. "That's enough," Jody snapped, cutting me off. She continued, "Back then, Henry and I left our child with you while we traveled around the world. I know you're still angry about that, but Henry is her biological father. Give the kid back to him." Once her words fell, she shoved me aside and snatched Natalie out of my arms. Natalie frantically struggled against her hold. Her face turned bright red as she screamed, "Let me go, you bad lady!" Jody, however, turned a deaf ear to her cries and immediately handed her over to Henry. Henry handled Natalie roughly and left several red marks on her arm. Despite that, he acted as if he hadn't noticed and continued to grip her arm tightly. "I'm your actual daddy, sweetie," he told her.